We are a group of young carers who attend a youth group within Plymouth. We have been working with youth engagement officers from the NSPCC to explore peer-to-peer relationships, in particular harmful sexual behaviour. Recently there have been an Ofsted report released which reviews sexual assaults in schools and colleges, and this has formed the basis of our conversations. We explored key findings and then put together some important messages that we wanted to communicate to other young people about what healthy peer relationships should look like. We could decide how we wanted to share these messages through a campaign method of our choice and decided to put together the article to do this.
Being a young person is great, but it can be difficult as we find our way in the world. We have lots of different types of relationships with lots of different people. Working out what is healthy and unhealthy in a peer relationship can be exciting but tricky, and we feel there are some important things which make a peer relationship healthy.
Consent is important in a healthy peer relationship, and we use it in everyday life. Consent is asking for permission, and we feel it is important to highlight that because you have said yes to something one day or in a specific situation, that does not mean it will always be a yes.
It is okay for your decision on consent to change in each situation or on a different day. If your decision on consent changes, it is okay to say no. Trust, respect and good communication can support us with these decisions and other things that come up in a peer relationship.
Appropriate behaviour and language are also important in a healthy peer relationship. Body shaming and slut shaming can sometimes feel like the norm, but is harmful to people and can have consequences on a person's well-being. What is banter to one person is not always banter to another. Sometimes it can be helpful to take a moment and think about how the other person may feel before you say something. It is okay to challenge someone who says it's just banter and let them know how that makes you feel.
Gender identities are important to consider in healthy peer relationships. There are lots of different ways that a person can identify. We want to share that in a healthy peer relationship, it may be useful not to assume that someone is heterosexual until they say otherwise. What you learn about relationships may not cover LGBTQ+ relationships, and we want to remind you that it is okay to speak out and challenge where you feel these relationships are not represented. It is important to support one another with who you are and who they are.
Obviously, we feel that there are many things that make a healthy peer relationship and an unhealthy peer relationship, and we have not mentioned everything in this article, but it may be that you take a moment to consider what makes a healthy and unhealthy peer relationship and what is important to you and list some ideas for yourself.
If you feel that you are unable to resolve something between you and your peer, it may be helpful to seek support from school, parent, a youth worker or another trusted adult. There are also lots of other places you can find support. You may find that you want to talk to someone over the phone or have a look at a website. For example, Childline, The Zone, Young Devon or Couth are some helpful places to go for support.